That night, a total of 12 people were violently murdered and over 69 were shot, all in a matter of seconds. Seconds. These assault weapons allow a shooter to fire many rounds without having to reload and were originally designed for military combat to kill a large number of people very quickly. These weapons do not belong on our streets. The recent mass shootings in Tucson, Aurora, and Newtown have clearly demonstrated the need to regulate military-style assault weaponry and high-capacity magazines. On January 24th, Senator Feinstein introduced the assault weapons ban of 2013, a bill to stop the sale, transfer, importation, and manufacturing of military-style assault weapons and high-capacity ammunition-feeding devices. Senator McCain, in the past, you've been a leader. You've been a leader in the effort to reduce gun violence. Thank you. My husband and I, we live in Arizona. We voted and supported you in every single election. Now we are asking you to help us and the moms that I'm hearing as well. My question is A, do you support the assault weapons ban as proposed by Senator Feinstein? And B, do you support a ban on high capacity magazines? If not, why not?
Well, first of all, could I say thank you and God bless and thank you for your service and sacrifice you've made. Our hearts and our prayers go out to you and your family. And I just had a town hall meeting yesterday in Tucson, and there were people there who were affected by this terrible tragedy of the shooting there. I met with Mark Kelly and Gabby Giffords in my office last week on this issue. As you know, they're becoming understandably great advocates on this issue, and I will continue that conversation. I can tell you right now, you need some straight talk. That assault weapons ban will not pass the Congress of the United States. It won't. Now, I owe it to you, I owe it to give you my opinion, because the majority of members of Congress don't support it. We have elections every 2 years. All I can tell you is what I just told this young lady and this lady here. I will continue to work with a bipartisan group on both sides of the aisle, representing all of America, not just California, and we will try to come up with ways to prevent this from happening again. If that means increased background checks, closing loopholes, other things like that, that's fine. But, again, you didn't like some of my response. I didn't like the response to Chicago. Those murders in Chicago, there's no assault weapon using. There's no large clip that's being used. It's a handgun where people go up and kill people. So to somehow think that an assault weapons ban will have the slightest effect on the murders in Chicago and other metropolitan areas obviously is not an accurate depiction of the facts on the ground. But I appreciate your opinion. I promise you, you have my commitment to work with every member of Congress, no matter where they are in the political arena, to try to prevent this from happening again.
I don't live in Chicago. I live in Arizona.
I know. Yeah. I understood that from your opening statement. But I hope that we are concerned about more of the nation than just Arizona. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Senator McCain, thank you for your service, both as a veteran and as a great leader of the state of Arizona. I was just curious of your position on a solution for future Benghazis so that we protect our ambassadors overseas, one. And two, what about the solution around the gun environment, right, in this discussion, as it relates to education? If you go to Switzerland, everyone's educated on guns. They all own a gun. They don't have problems like this. And education, putting emphasis on education around the gun culture, because some of the finest people I know own a gun, but they're educated how to use them.
Well,
Thank you.
I know that the NRA may not be the most popular organization in this room, but the fact is that the NRA sponsors education programs and training programs for people on the use of guns. So I walk on their website, and I can assure you that the NRA is one of the most active in training and helping people on the use of weapons.
Not focused on a solution, as we talk about the problems like what happened yesterday. We're not talking about a solution on the causes or investors or protecting the future. We're not talking about the solution about a larger scope educational program in the country, how to educate people. Instead, we're talking about these things. Take away my gun? Are you serious? We're changing the Constitution every day.
Well, if you want to change the Constitution, if you want to, wait a minute, you say, tell me how we're changing the Constitution every day. The last time I checked, it had to be an amendment to the Constitution of the United States, which we have not done in a long time.
We've seen that in our current administration and the way in which our current administration is overriding your powers in the Congress.
Yes, and we go to court then, and we, as in the case of the NLRB recess appointments, we got a court to say that the president acted in an unconstitutional fashion. But that doesn't mean, so all I can say to you is that I don't believe that the whole answer in Chicago today is a lack of education of people on the use of guns.
No.
But I also think that you are right. We need to educate people more and more heavily and do so. We need to have programs in the schools. We need to obviously do everything we can. But I think also our priorities has got to be to see that the guns don't fall into the hands of criminals or people who are mentally ill. And that's what I think our national conversation has got to be about to some degree. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. What's that? It's not just Chicago, by the way.